Hey everyone, this is Alex from Jar, and with me today I have
Jamie.
no Ruben today. He's not on Skype because he hasn't played the game in question, which we're about to review, which is Batman Arkham Origins. It's the first game by developer WB Montreal. Is that correct?
First Batman game, yeah.
Yeah, which is a sequel to two very good games for the Arkham in the Arkham trilogy so far, which is Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. So this one it's a prequel in terms of when it's set after Arkham City. So it's stylistically quite different to Arkham City.
It's
taking a lot of notes from the Dark Knight movies as opposed to the animated series.
It's less complicated. It seems less like it is based after the TV show.
Yeah, I mean, when you 100% certain things in it, you unlock the actual suit from The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Like, they were heavily influenced by it, and that's not a bad thing, really. It's quite a cool little thing.
It's kind of weird that it looks like he has better armor.
That's the problem with prequels, is that you get into that weird space of, like, well, he's, like, better than when he is in the other ones, and you just sort of have to, just whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the story is Black Mask, he's pissed at Batman, and he hires 8 assassins. Is that right? 8?
Yep.
And puts a $50 million bounty on Batman. If you kill him, you get 50 million. So of course, couple of A-list, couple of B-list. You got some E-list villains in there that all want to take a shot at killing Batman. One in a literal sense as well, that being Deadshot. That was really... Yeah. And so, this game is extremely, extremely similar to Arkham City, and that's pretty much where the main criticisms are, as well as where the most positive things are as well. Because, do you want to play more Arkham City?
Yep.
Then you'll probably enjoy Arkham Origins. Especially if you're good at Arkham City.
Yeah.
If you weren't very good at Arkham City and you come to this game, you're probably going to find the combat a bit difficult.
But saying that, we noticed the combat being more difficult because we played it a lot.
Yeah.
So
we
maybe
both got good at that combat.
People that weren't as good might not even notice this slight change.
But I did feel like it's not quite as satisfying, the combat in this game.
It's
just the villains, like,
fight. They're quick.
They're constantly going for you. They're like you don't get much time to react. Like in Arkham City, you were given a lot more leeway and they weren't as harsh with it. So you could
but
so
you could argue that it's because he's like earlier in his career, so he might be more susceptible to.
But I mean that doesn't
attacks.
make for it necessarily like more fun.
I know.
That's the thing. And I mean, the structure of it is very similar, like, detective mode and stuff. Everything, like, from Arkham City is back, pretty much. Like, just about everything.
They've added more, pretty much.
Yeah,
Which is, to be fair, that's what the, like, director guy said that he wanted to do. He said he didn't want to remake it. He said he wanted to just build it on top of that.
Yeah, which
I think
it makes sense.
It works.
It does work, yeah. Overall, it does work. So, we didn't even say what we thought of the story. Like,
the story.
It's probably my favourite Batman story in the game.
It is really good.
I'm biased though because for Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, I'd already seen everything that happens in that game. I'd spoiled it for myself before playing it myself and experiencing it myself.
You only got around to playing them this year, didn't you?
Yeah, I've only played them both this year.
When I bought Arkham City when it came out and Arkham Asylum, like a year after, maybe. Half a year.
You got Arkham City like when it came out, I think.
Arkham Asylum, I mean. That was like maybe a year afterwards. I borrowed it.
Yeah.
But I bought it afterwards, and that's when I really got hooked.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun sort of formula that they have now, with the way they do it. And as long as they sort of do something new for the next one.
Yeah. It's
like, this is fine for this one time, but I wouldn't want to see that again.
But these people, they haven't done an Arkham game before, so
for a first game, this is a pretty damn good game.
Yeah, and I don't think they wanted to risk adding too much, and I think Rocksteady might be working on something as it is. So
well, they are. They are. Like,
yeah, but it's. I don't think they wanted to add anything that would pretty much make that their next one like a bigger step.
Yeah, you don't want these guys to do like something really drastic, and then the next one they take that away because they weren't planning on doing something like that. That's the problem with just prequels, though. In general, like it's a risky thing to do because it doesn't always work, and I think it does work here more than it doesn't. And so we got a couple of new. They didn't get all the voice cast back, which is sort of a shame.
But
for the
they still did a good job
because that's some of the best things in the first two. Is Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker. They're the two, and we have neither of those. We got Ezio playing Batman this time. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, and Troy Baker as the Joker, and I think they both do perfectly good jobs. I mean, it's not the best Joker I've heard because of Mark Hamill, but it's certainly not the worst. Like it's really good for it fits in nicely, it works really well, and the same with Ezio as Batman.
His name is just Ezio now.
Yeah, I mean, might as well be. Yeah, I thought he does a good job.
Yeah, he seems more vicious than Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, I mean, Batman's kind of a dick in this game.
Yeah,
I mean, he does not shy away from punching people as hard as he can in the face. And I guess he doesn't in the other ones, but in this one, he's looking mad when he does it. At least he's all calm in the other Arkham games.
He looks like more of a psycho in the original.
Yeah, I mean, he loses he gets angry in this game. Like, it's young Batman when he's like hot-headed and
he's not as refined.
Yeah, he's a bit more sort of clumsy, I guess, and he doesn't think things through as much. One thing I did really like was Bane in this game.
Yeah, he was done well.
Is that a spoiler saying that Bane's in this?
No, he was in the E3.
Oh yeah, he's like in multiplayer and stuff. But
yeah,
I really like Bane because I'm not a fan of Bane in the other Arkham games. I just thought. Well, I thought his character was that he's like, he's quite intelligent, but they just made him sort of, I'm big, so I'm strong by default. No, I really like what they did with him in this game. Like his whole arc, like, and the whole Alfred's in this game as well. Yeah. Like properly as a character, he wasn't.
You actually see him.
Yeah.
And so the Batcave.
And the Batcave, yes, the first time I've seen him, and the Batcave looks very much like the one in the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I thought
in the Dark Knight, it had that thing that like came out the water.
Out the water, yeah. But I think the whole sort of design of it's really similar to it. Like, actually, I can't remember what the one in the animated series looks like off the top of my head.
There's like a boat and stuff in that one.
I was getting like big Dark Knight sort of things throughout all of this because I mean, like the Joker, while being good, he's not as jokey. He's like way more like, I'm gonna kill you, like, and then laugh. Whereas he's a bit more sort of vicious in this one, and he can't do the laugh properly, so he just goes like, but more high pitched, obviously. It's good though. Troy Baker's good.
Yeah,
so, yeah. I'd say the strongest thing in this game is the story. If you just want a really good Batman story where there are a couple of twists and turns in it, you're not going to see everything that comes, and with some really good boss fights as well.
Yeah,
like. The weakest parts in the first two Arkham games, I'd say, are the bosses.
Apart from Mr. Freeze, that was cool.
That's the best boss, and that wasn't even the last boss in the game. Like, they've always had really sort of weak last bosses in the other games. Like, I thought the bosses all the way through, they're all different, and they're all fun and unique to sort of fight.
Instead of having, like, one boss where you just do the same thing, there's multiple ones where you have to do different things for each one, which just, it's, like, Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Everyone knew he was going to be in it, but he was actually fun to fight. I'd like a challenge map where you just have to fight him and do as well as possible.
I do like.
It's really awesome.
I really like what they did with Deathstroke, like especially how he looks.
Yeah,
I almost wish he was in it a bit more, but then I don't actually know how they could do that in a game.
He probably would have been spread thin, and it just would.
I can't see them doing it without just repeating and copy and pasting the same boss again and again. So. Yeah, I'm fine with what they did with it because there's plenty of bosses in this game. Like you've got all the ones from the 8.
Yeah.
and there's like side quests and all that.
The problem was like some of the assassins were side quests, although that's sort of a good thing. But
Yeah.
it's some of them could have had their own like part, and they could have just added that as like part of the story.
I think they might have tried that at one point, but it was like too convoluted. Like, oh look, here's Shiva suddenly to fight, and she's pretty weak, to be honest.
What, in this game, yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's
don't
not
know
like
anything about her.
Out of the 8. I don't think anyone's favorite is Shiva. Like, seriously,
Everyone's gonna be.
there's gonna be that one guy who comes on the comments and is like, yeah, my favorite Shiva. No, don't believe you. But yeah, the combat's extremely similar. You could just finish playing Arkham City, jump straight into this one, and you'd know exactly what you're doing. There's an upgrade tree very similar to the previous ones, or the previous one.
Yeah.
This is very similar to Arkham City. So you've got.
I actually prefer like the upgrade stuff in this game. It just
You get a little bit more freedom, don't you? I think.
Yeah.
And there's also sort of a tree of like, you can only get this once you've done that.
What was annoying was that some of the unlockables were through.
Yeah, let's talk about
defeating
that.
people.
They have these 3 sort of challenges they call the Dark Knight challenges, something like that.
What the
where you have to do specific things, and
Oh,
then you
yeah,
unlock a. They call those like the Dark Knight challenges or something, and there was something like that in Arkham City where it was just like glide for 100 meters without stopping.
It was Riddler things in
Arkham City.
Arkham City, and
it
you
was
could do
Riddler
them in
things.
any order. But in this one, there's a specific order. So if you want to get the last one done first, because that's the hardest, you can't. You have to go from
So it's
one.
like you have to hit 3 people with a batarang before you can, like, get someone with explosive gel like 3 times. Like you have to do it in a certain order, which
is
in like maybe when you're sat in a room and it's like, yeah, that's a good way of making it satisfying. But when you actually play the game, it's like, well, I could get this really difficult challenge right now, but I can't unlock it because I haven't done this simple thing I just forgot to do. Which just seems like a really strange sort of way of doing it.
I think would have all been completely fixed if they just added a New Game Plus mode that didn't change the difficulty.
So let's talk about the New Game Pluses then. Like, you start your normal game. Like, I assume most people just do it like normal, on normal difficulty.
Yeah.
So when you finish the game, you unlock New Game Plus. But instead of like just starting the new game again with all your gadgets and stuff, it's a new difficulty. It makes it harder, and you basically start again.
Yeah,
but you don't have all your gadgets.
There's no
you've got
counter icons or anything like that.
It just makes it harder, basically.
Yeah. Well, you have your like core upgrades, but gadgets that you unlock through the story you don't have.
Yeah. So it's the same New Game Plus as Arkham City, nearly.
Yeah.
It's just you don't have the gadgets because the game wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah, 'cause you could go places that you're not meant to.
Yeah, and then you get another mode where once you finish New Game Plus, it's like another one, like Dead Space, where you get 1 life, and if you die, you have to start the game all over again. And so I've done 3 playthroughs on this game, 1 on each of those difficulties. And what about you? What have you done?
I've literally just done the 2.
You've done 2.
I've
and partially way through the 3rd one.
Yeah, but
I'd say it's like it doesn't have. It's not as like replayable as Arkham City.
No, just because of that beginning, I think.
There's a really long sort of opening where it's teaching you how to do it, but it's not as sort of organic or natural or quick, more importantly. Like, it's fine the first time, it's cool the first time, but then when you want to go back and replay it, it's like, oh, I have to do this Riddler bullshit again. Like, really? Oh, there's Anarchy, great. Whatever. Like, so then what else is there? There's the map we should probably talk about, because...
double the size.
It's double the size of Arkham City, yet half of it is Arkham City, isn't it?
Yeah, but slightly different, because it doesn't have a wall around for one.
That's true.
You
don't really feel it, do you? Like that. You don't feel like it's twice the size.
No,
because it's not like GTA where it's so huge that you're going to see all this different... It's still a city, like, with buildings. And it's like... There's not much visually different. I mean, it looks good for what it is.
Yeah.
And there's this big bridge in between the 2 islands that you have to go across. We don't have to because there's fast travel now. But I mean, that's not a problem for me.
They did a Far Cry type, like, fast travel system.
Like the Ubisoft, like, having these points on the map, like, locked, and you have to go clear them, then you can fast travel there.
I like them in this game because they're like different Riddler challenges that, like, puzzles.
It makes sense, yeah. I mean, I like that in every game. I always find that really satisfying. And you've got lots of side quests and things, not only just the the assassins that aren't
There
in
were a lot more side quests, I think, in this game
yeah.
than in Arkham City.
A couple of them did feel pretty similar to ones in Arkham City,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean they're getting to a point where they've used like all the major villains. They've used so much. They're at a difficult point now. They're gonna have to do something quite different, I think, with whatever they're gonna do next with this. But what's there? It's all pretty good. They've introduced a new an enemy type as well.
Yeah,
like a ninja dude that can...
the martial artist.
Yeah.
He can counter your attacks, and then you have to counter his counter. Which,
yeah. I mean, I thought that kind of disrupts your sort of your combat
flow.
a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I didn't mind it, it's just on New Game Plus.
Well, for shit players like me, it's like, okay, that's annoying. I have to fight these guys now.
I quite liked it, because I think it's like another layer.
Yeah.
Because it's not just... If you press X towards that guy, you're gonna hit him.
Yeah,
it's actually
and
you
you
actually have to think about it more.
I think they added like another guy that's like a sort of Bane dude.
Yeah, they're on Venom.
Yeah, but a lot of the enemies are like pretty similar and everything. But yeah, is there anything else to mention even about it? Like that's the sort of general.
We should probably just mention that when the game first came out...
Oh god, yeah. This game was very, very unstable when we first started playing it. I mean, we got it the day of release. Even the day before release, I think we got it.
We got one the day before.
Yeah, so on that day, it was incredibly buggy. It was crashing just... It must have crashed about 4 or 5 times on the day. It got to the point where I just stopped playing it because I couldn't actually play it. Even on the main menu, it just froze when you had to sign up for this WB ID thing. Like, it just sat on that for ages, so I was just, screw it, I'm just going to go on GTA while I wait for this thing to be patched. I think it's alright now. I haven't had it actually crash on me since I've done my 2 other playthroughs. But yeah, it's really solid now, I think.
But like, just that combat thing that we said about earlier, about them being faster, it just makes it not feel quite as solid as Arkham City, which is why
you have like way less leeway, so it's not as satisfying.
That's why I wouldn't give it.
This is not a perfect game.
But I'd say, considering it's their first Arkham game,
for a first Arkham game, it's a really strong game. It's not quite as like memorable as Arkham Asylum.
No, that's because it's been done before.
That was like the first time, and that's like this is establishing
bear in mind
formula.
what the games this company have done. It's like,
what else have they done?
It's like Looney Tunes online or something.
So this is probably quite a big deal for them. Yeah. Like, yes, we finally get to make a serious and big game.
They did a good job with it. The story's good. The combat is fun. You feel like Batman.
It's just I just wouldn't want this again in another. Like, I wouldn't mind if they do like Rocksteady's doing the next one. They've completely like change everything around, make it really cool, and then these guys come in and do another Batman story, like with a similar sort of thing. Like, I wouldn't mind that, like because they seem to like they want to make this sort of a yearly thing by the sounds of it.
Because it's Batman, it's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. And now they were trying for so many years to make good Batman games, and it just wasn't happening. And then when they do, they're like, shit, we gotta
milk this cow.
Yeah, exactly. And so far, I think it's 3 for 3 in terms of these are 3 games you should play. Like, if you're a Batman fan, like if you like Batman and the stories. Also, quickly you get like a detective. They've like changed the what's it called? It is like detective mode. You like set up a crime scene in detective mode, and you can recreate it,
rewind back and forth through the crime to see different things that happened.
That's pretty cool, I thought.
And like there's a certain part where Batman explains a crime that happened, and I was having
it's like you're a detective
watching that. Yeah,
you are a detective. Like, you don't really get, like in the previous ones it's just like, follow this trail, or like alcohol in the air or whatever.
I think they could have made it a bit more challenging, because like you could
it's not difficult. Like, but it's like fun.
I would have preferred it if you actually had to look. Sometimes like the red dot will just appear.
Yeah,
a way you had to look at. But
I'm sure they'll expand on that sort of thing. And then of course we've got the obligatory multiplayer all games seem to need now.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think it's like the Bioshock 2 of.
It's Bioshock 2, the Dead Space 2, the.
They always try and just.
Was it Tomb Raider? It's unnecessary, but it's serviceable. I think.
Yeah,
It's better than the Tomb Raider one. It's better than the Dead Space one. Because those were weak. Those were really weak, those ones.
yeah. But
It's playable, but it's just not... It's just unnecessary.
The people... I think it would be good if it was just you and someone else against some AI thugs.
Yeah. I mean, why didn't they do that? Oh, I know why. Because they wanted to have more people, like, shooting guns in multiplayer.
Yeah. And, well, they wanted people to buy outfits.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah, they do the thing where you, like, gain points and then you, like, can buy baskets full of stuff or something. It's... Yeah, I really don't like the trend of just, hey, let's put multiplayer on it, because if we do that, then perhaps it will be played for longer. No, this multiplayer, no one's going to be playing this in a month.
No.
You'll struggle to find a game in a month. People might be playing single player still, but not multiplayer.
I might be playing the single player still, because I just love the Batman games.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're probably the biggest fan out of everyone.
Yeah.
We know of these games.
And I think that multiplayer was probably forced on them by Warner Bros.
Yeah, so, I don't know why these studios seem to think that, putting multiplayer on it is instantly going to make it the next Call of Duty and sell 1 billion copies in one day. No, that's not how it works. It really isn't. And because it's just the controls for me. Like when you've got a gun,
it's weird.
Those thug characters, it's really just sort of clunky.
But playing as Batman is really fun.
It's pretty fun when you're
fooling actual people is really satisfying.
Yeah, it's a bit laggy though. It's when we played it on the Xbox 360. It was.
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is. I mean, it's all right.
Unless you're like going to go for all the achievements and stuff, I doubt you're going to play it more than like.
But
twice.
This isn't like a Mass Effect 3 where like, the single player, whatever, like. Batman. The single player in this is like it's enough game in itself. I mean, there was enough to Mass Effect 3, but that's a different discussion. So yeah, this is it just felt tacked on, that multiplayer. Really, it's like, okay, you don't need this, and they put those bloody multiplayer achievements in to try and get people to play, and it's like the most specific things ever. Like when you're the 4th person in the world to be Robin, throw a batarang and explode a canister, and then like kill Bane and rip his head off, like. That's not going to happen.
Oh, I got that one.
Yeah, you did, you lucky. So yeah, let's give it our scores then. Do you want to go first?
Yeah,
As the Batman fan?
I'd probably go for like a mid to low light beige.
Light beige?
Yeah.
So pretty high?
Well, this is going to score highly for me because it's Batman and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it as well. I mean, it has its problems here and there. I don't think the combat's quite as good. Really like the story, so I'm going to give it a high sort of shit. So yeah,
sounds terrible. But...
It sounds terrible, but that's my review scale, so you're going to have to deal with that, unfortunately. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Services are urging Gotham residents to stay off the roads and in their homes tonight in light of the severe winter storm. No man is the island, Bruce. You've been back for almost 2 years now. You can't expect me to believe that Gotham's most eligible bachelor is spending another Christmas alone.
You just ran out of time.
Knowing that tonight we put to rest one of Gotham's most heinous and relentless killers, Julian Gregory Day.
Commissioner Loeb, any comment on the rumor that it wasn't actually the cops who captured Mr. Day?
There is no such thing as a Batman.
Captain Gordon! Captain Gordon! Commissioner Loeb!
No further questions. No further questions.
All units, code 10 at Blackgate Prison. Communication is down. Possible to 11.
Delta 6-4 en route. Dispatch 5-9. Confirm code 10. This is a breakout.
Suspect identified as Black Mask. Repeat, code 10 suspect is Black Mask. Commissioner Loeb is being held captive. Repeat, Commissioner Loeb is 701.